Okay, when I say king of the dinosaurs, I bet one name just popped into your head, right? But what if I told you the throne wasn't uncontested? Yeah, way down south, another giant was carving out its own empire. It's time to meet the Southern King. You heard me. The famous Tyrannosaurus Rex, as awesome as it was, wasn't the only top dog to ever walk the planet. Not by a long shot. So get ready to meet the competition. We're talking about a dinosaur so huge, it completely redraws the top of the food chain. All right, so who is this mysterious southern challenger? To find out, we've got to jump in our time machine and head back, way back. We're talking nearly 100 million years ago to a place we now call Patagonia. Say hello to Giganotosaurus. I mean, the name kind of says it all, right? It literally means giant southern lizard, and trust me, it earned that name. This absolute beast was found in Patagonia, Argentina, and it was without a doubt the king of the entire southern hemisphere back in its day. Okay, so the big question, how does this southern giant actually stack up against our famous king from the north? It's time to put him head to head. Let's get to the tail of the tape. And right off the bat, things get interesting. You might not expect this, but Giganotosaurus was actually longer than T-Rex. We're talking up to 43 feet. But, and this is a big but, T-Rex was the heavyweight champ. It was way more solidly built, tipping the scales at a much heavier weight. Yeah, this really paints the picture, doesn't it? It's like a heavyweight boxer going up against a supersized martial artist. Giganotosaurus had that incredible length and reach, but T-Rex had the pure, raw bulk and muscle. Just two totally different blueprints for creating the perfect killer. And look, the differences aren't just physical. When it comes to brains, well, T-Rex had a serious edge. Its brain was about twice the size of Giga's. So what does that mean? Well, it suggests T-Rex might have been a smarter, more strategic hunter, while Giga was all about pure, deadly instinct. Okay, so you've got these different bodies, different brains, and that, of course, led to completely different ways of fighting. It's not just about who is bigger, it's about how they used what they had. So let's get into the weaponry. Think about T-Rex's teeth. They were like railroad spikes, literally designed to crush bone with insane force. Now, Giganotosaurus, totally different story. Its mouth was full of 8-inch serrated blades. These things weren't made for crushing, they were made for one thing, slicing. So you see the strategy, right? It's just so different. One is a bone crusher, one devastating bite, game over. The other is a flesh slicer, built to create these huge, bleeding wounds that would just wear down and topple even the biggest dinosaurs out there. And check this out. Giga had another signature weapon, and it's kind of weird. Its chin. It had this super deep, massive lower jaw that was the anchor for all those powerful slicing muscles. Honestly, that unique profile sets it apart from almost every other giant meat eater we've ever found. Okay, so we've established it's got a lighter frame and these terrifying slicing teeth. So how did it actually hunt? Well, the evidence we have points to a strategy that was both super fast and incredibly ferocious. It really turned its unique body into a deadly weapon. You see that less bulky build? That wasn't a weakness at all. It was a huge advantage. Most paleontologists think Giganotosaurus was probably way faster and more agile than the heavier, more, lumbering T-Rex. This thing was built to chase its prey down, not just lie in wait for an ambush. And this is where the story gets really cool. We've actually found Giganotosaurus fossils in groups. What does that suggest? Well, it's led to this incredible theory that they didn't hunt alone. They might have formed actual packs, or gangs, if you will, to coordinate their attacks. So why would they need a gang? I mean, these things were huge. Well, it's because their favorite meal was the single largest land animal of all time, the 100-ton Argentinosaurus. No joke. A lone Giga, it might have had trouble. But a whole pack working together, using their speed and those slicing teeth, yeah, they could absolutely bleed out a true giant. Okay, so there you have it, our two titans, the Northern King versus the Southern King, the bone crusher against the flesh slicer, the solo hunter against the pack. It's the ultimate showdown, right? Well, except for one very, very big problem. 30 million years. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's the number you have to remember. It is a gap in time so unbelievably vast, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around it. Here's the deal. Giganotosaurus was ruling Patagonia around 98 million years ago. T-Rex, it didn't even show up in North America until 68 million years ago. So here's the bottom line. The absolute key takeaway. Despite what you've seen in movies or video games, they were on different continents, separated by an ocean of 30 million years. They never met, they never ever fought. So, if the epic battle we all imagine never actually happened, how do we settle this? How do we answer the big question? Who was the true king of the dinosaurs?
Yeah, this is what everyone wants to know, right? T-Rex or Giganotosaurus? The crusher or the slicer? Who gets the crown?
All right, the verdict is in, and it might not be what you're expecting. T-Rex was absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the apex predator of its time and its place. In late Cretaceous North America, nothing could touch it. It was the undisputed king, the perfect killing machine for that specific world. But rewind 30 million years and travel thousands of miles south, and Giganotosaurus was at the very top of its food chain. It was perfectly, brilliantly adapted to hunt those colossal sauropods in Patagonia. It was, without question, the king of the South. So you see, in the end, the question isn't really who would win in a fight. That's the wrong question. The real amazing takeaway here is that our planet was big enough for more than one king. We had two different kings ruling two totally different empires, separated by this vast ocean of time. And it just goes to show you, nature is pretty darn creative. It found more than one way to build the perfect predator.